Woo! What's going on, guys? Orange Form coming at you guys there with a video, and we are on day 2 of Detroit Lions minicamp. There's some of the observations that have been going on for Detroit Lions football and some spring practice, whatever we're calling this right now, and more football news. Minicamp heating up. We're getting closer and closer to kickoff as we speak. 92 days till, actually 91 days till about kickoff. So it's getting fired up, man. But this is day 2. Thanks to guys like John Macaron, Tim Twentyman, Jeremy Reisman, these Detroit Lions beat writers, journalists that just put out that information, and I get that information down on my YouTube channel, and you guys can check it out as well. I really appreciate it, man. But those guys do all the good, dirty work there. Today we didn't really get any who's in, who's out participation, who's limited or anything like that. Usually they've been on that. Didn't see that today. Didn't see who was available, who wasn't, but Manuel Mosley I don't think was there. His birth of his child, he's still banged up. DJ Reader, I'm assuming, but there's a couple guys obviously in, out, but didn't really get the report on it. But remember, day 1 yesterday. Went to the defense. Offense was, didn't look too bad, but the defense kind of won the day in day 1. So there was another situational day. That's what Dan Campbell wants to really focus on, situational work, what's going on with that, and obviously St. Brown continues to dominate, and what else is new. But the defense is making some noise. Levi Muzarike, the guy's kind of got one half of his body kind of hanging out the bubble. He's a guy that was a second round pick a few years back. Brad Holmes took a chance on this guy with the bad back and all, and hasn't really played well. Been hurt a majority of his career, but he's out there practicing well. Got to Goff a couple times and to force an incompletion. Got the Hooker, and we'll talk about that a little bit later too. A little bit more on Levi as we go. Then cornerback Amik Robinson, one of the guys that we picked up from the Las Vegas Raiders, a defensive corner. With the pass breakup, Campbell really loving this kid, saying that this kid can play anywhere right now. He looks good in the inside, looks good in the outside. If you really know, if you followed Amik Robertson, or if you looked at the tape, or you talked to a lot of Raiders fans, he was a better outside corner, in my opinion. I know, Campbell, he's looking good here. It could be a totally different situation. It's not the same defensive scheme, not the same players over there in Vegas as it is in Detroit. But he was a better outside corner for Vegas. But it looks like he's going to be kind of versatile. I see him playing more inside here, though, but who knows what happens. Anything could happen. But he's a really good depth guy who could win a spot, who could get a lot of playing time. So Campbell really likes his kid a lot, and he's a Dan Campbell guy. Goff did hit J-Mo twice, Laporta, Green, in one of those situational matchups, too, as well. So, kind of went up and down in that first series with Goff in the situational work, but he did get the ball to J-Mo, Laporta, and Green. Hooker, next series, came in. I'm hearing stuff about Hooker that he had a better day Wednesday. We'll get into that in a little bit, but Levi, again, getting to the quarterback. Hooker did find Maurice Alexander. He seems to be one of his favorites right now. Hit him twice. One was a touchdown. Then he threw a touchdown to tight end James Mitchell, who looks like he's going to be tight end 3. I'd like to see this kid stay healthy, because I think he's a pretty talented tight end, and you just never know what happens with Brock Wright. But we need James to stay healthy, because he could be a guy that's on the bubble as well. Both were security blankets on the day for Hooker. He was trying to find Maurice. He was trying to find James. Getting comfortable with some guys is a good thing. Another showing for wide receiver Caden Davis. He had a nice one-handed catch versus Maurice Norris, another corner that they picked up. His kid just keeps stacking plays every practice. So keep an eye on this kid too. Maybe he wins that number 5. May even push for that number 4, but he's really on the brink of not locking up the wide receiver 5, but there could be a little bit of a camp battle going on. Hooker did get picked off again by cornerback Khalil Dorsey. Pick 6, actually, again, 2 days in a row, kind of a similar play. Closer to the end zone, pick 6, boom, ran it in, touchdown, defense. Hooker needs to be a little bit smarter there. And some bad news on Dorsey. We'll get to that in a little bit. Now St. Brown again. He's doing a little thing called special situations where trailing 21-20, 29 seconds left on their own 30-yard line. St. Brown, 3 straight completions from Goff to get into field goal range. Both Badgley and Turner hit their 56-yard attempts. I think those were 2 of the longest ones. Hooker back out with the second team. He came into it was the same kind of drill, down by 21-20, 29 seconds left in their own 30-yard line. Took a long pass to Maurice Alexander to get in field goal range. Badgley missed his. Turner made it. The distance, I'm not really too sure how long it was, but it was a 50. I think it was a 54-yarder. I'm not 100% sure, but it might have been the 54-yarder. St. Brown just continues to stack up days, obviously. And now there was some clock management problems with Hooker. Hooker made a mistake with clock management. Coaching staff really let him know. Have to be smarter than that. Hooker was out there scrambling, and he throws a pass over the middle. Before that, he ran up the middle. They ended up going to the sidelines and getting out of bounds. He kind of, that wasn't very smart either. Then the very next play, he scrambled, throws a pass over the middle, completed. The guy was tackled, inbounds. Game ends. No timeouts. Frustration was very evident by the coaching staff. They all let him have it. Man, the young kid needs to learn. He needs to get better in that situation. He did have a better Wednesday, though. It was a better day. Probably the best day for Hooker is what I'm hearing across the board from all 3 of these guys. So that's what they were out there writing, and that's good to see. Then there was another tussle. I guess it was between Dan Skipper and Derek Barnes. The coaches broke it up, man. I guess there was some taunting going on. Touchdown or something like that. Dan Skipper let Derek Barnes know, and they kind of got into it a little bit. So, very competitive out there right now, man. These guys are supposed to be gearing it down a little bit. That's what the coach is saying. Coach is like, we're gonna gear it down, but it looks like both guys or both units are just, are just going at each other, which is a good thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. J-Mo's out there improving as well. This is probably one of his better days as today too. I guess he looks strong in situational scenarios. Down 6, 38-24, red zone. He had a quick out to J-Mo, quick hitter. J-Mo got out of bounds. A real smart play by J-Mo. Led to a touchdown by Amon-Ra St. Brown, who just lives in the end zone right now. Then later on, he made a great over-the-shoulder catch. There's actually a video on it, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, like wherever you want to find it. Lions News, there's actually a video of this. He made a great over-the-shoulder catch. A deep ball by Goff against cornerback Carlton Davis, who's a big corner, by the way. He's not a small guy by any stretch. If you see him out there, he looks like a safety. He looks like a safety. He's a big corner, man. It was a contested catch, and it was a beautiful throw by Jared Goff. I know there's people out there that will love to rip on Goff for it. I was saying, oh my God, look, J-Mo had to slow down. J-Mo had to do this. J-Mo had to put on the brakes. No, it was a beautiful catch right down the sidelines. J-Mo stepped out of bounds. It was a beautiful pitch and catch. It really was, and you're really starting to see and hear about J-Mo and Goff clicking. Even Goff came out and he sees the improvements. He came out today with some comments. He sees the improvements in J-Mo, mentioning that he's here. There's no problems going on right now. There's no injuries. There's no controversial betting going on. There's none of that stuff going on. They're just concentrating on football, and he sees that J-Mo just is taking this serious. He's like, J-Mo's the biggest critic of himself. He goes, and he's stacking up these good practices. He sees the maturity. He sees him getting better, and Goff's like, we're starting to build a chemistry because it's an everyday thing. There's no other problems. There's no other stuff. There's no other stuff in the mirror that you got to look back and go, oh man, well this is coming up. No, it's just straight football with J-Mo right now, and everything is kind of going to plan. It's year 3. It's time. but this is a really good sign right now. He's going to have his bad days. He's going to have his good to great days too. But right now, that Wednesday was a very nice day for JMO and Goff together. Terry and Arnold back. He was one guy that did come back. He was out yesterday. Him and Davis were the 1-2 punch. Davis probably playing the cornerback one. Arnold on one, on two, sometimes 1-2, because he got a lot of work today with St. Brown. Apparently Arnold held his own. Got beat on a touchdown though. Probably got beat a few times. But he did hold his own against an All-Pro wide receiver. And that's what St. Brown is. So most of the day it was just between it was Davis and Arnold as the 1 and 2, and then he had a nice pass breakup against St. Brown, forced a field goal on a 7-on-7. He's looking the part. He's infectious. Even Goff saying, he goes, he's a fun guy to be around. He's making plays. He's making plays. He's doing things out there that rookies don't necessarily do right away. So that's a really good thing. Then the kicking competition, it's a little bit back and forth battle so far. Badgley, a little bit of the front runner. He did miss 2 today. He did miss 2 on day 2, and Turner went perfect. I think the long of 56 by both of them. So, this could be a kicking battle. I know a lot of people want Jake Bates in here, the Michigan Panthers kicker, and that's coming up soon, where we're going to be able to know if we can pick him up. It's either June or July, I forget. But who knows what's going to happen with Jake Bates, the Michigan kicker? Are they going to bring him in and tell one of these guys to hit the bricks? Because I don't know if they're going to keep 3 kickers. I guess they could, just for now, because of the extended roster, because of the training camp and stuff like that coming up. So who knows what's going on right there? But these 2 guys got a kicking battle going on, and apparently Badgley's ahead. But who knows? Who knows, man? Then a little more on Levi and Ruzarike. No more back injury. He gained 15 pounds of good weight, by the way, and he looks a little more explosive, and is expanding his duties to play the edge a little bit, play that big end, because he's a bigger guy. He's mainly a defensive tackle, but he got a little bit of athleticism to him, and he can move. He can bounce it a little bit out to the outside. So, and he's still got the defensive tackle duties as well, but he's starting to stack up days too. Like I said, he's fighting for his Lions life, in my opinion. He's trying to get that. He's trying to get extended eventually. He's trying not to get cut. To be honest with you, that's basically what Levi's doing. And hey, he's stacking up practices. That's good right there. Robertson, back to Meek Robertson, the guy that we picked up from the Vegas Raiders. He has a knack for really getting his hands on the football. He's knocking balls out of people's hands, like Amon-Ra St. Brown, JMO, just getting physical with guys, and he just has a really good knack of putting his hands on a football, and that's a really good sign. The cornerback, Khalil Dorsey, carted off the field, lower leg injury. This is just right after he had his pick 6 against Hendon Hooker, his second in 2 days, and don't know the extent of the injury just yet. Don't really know the extent of the injury. I know they take these a little bit more serious now. Even if it's not that serious, they get carted off. But hopefully it's nothing too serious. Dorsey's not a starter or anything like that, but he's depth. And I expect them to probably possibly hit the waiver wire within the next couple of days if it's more serious than not. So more to come on Khalil Dorsey. Hopefully he's okay. Wide receiver Antoine Green did have a touchdown today with the first team, so he's getting looks right there. I still think he's the number 5 on this team, but it's a good sign that Goff was looking for him on the first team, just getting some opportunities. Hooker continuing to get the number 2 and number 3 reps. They are really, he looked better today, like I said, too. Still making mental errors out there that need cleaning up. Holding onto the ball too long is a really big one right now for him, and clock management. His clock management skills are kind of all over the place. He had a couple mental errors on today too, but he did have a better day. He's made some phenomenal throws. We never really questioned his arm. We never questioned his arm coming in. The big question mark about Hendon Hooker was always the mental part of it, because he was in Tennessee, he played in that video game-esque type of offense. I don't think the Lions would have drafted him if they thought he was like not a very smart quarterback. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people just say that Hendon Hooker is the type of guy that ran the type of offense where everybody just ran, he just threw it. That's not necessarily true. Okay, you know what I mean? You have to be smart to be an NFL, to be a college quarterback, high school quarterback. Playing quarterback is very mentally draining. Not only is it physically draining, it's mentally draining. And he did some wonders at Tennessee. You know, he was going to win that Heisman 2 years ago. He was going to win it, and he never did because he got hurt. You know, with the ACL, and you know, he ended up going in the third round by the Detroit Lions. It was kind of one of those picks where it was like, hey, man, we can't really pass up on this kid, man. Like, what if he is the possible future? You know, right now it's Jared Goff, not even questioning any of that right now. But this is a good QB2 to have, and if he learns that, which is awesome, you know, Goff goes down, he can miss 1 or 2 games, 3 games, and Hooker can step in and hopefully salvage 1 or 2 games. That's all that really is, but he needs to be smarter. His clock management's terrible, and his accuracy issues are kind of there. And then, you know, he's holding on to the ball a little bit too much, but he did have a better day today. A little bit of Josh Pascal news today. Did have a couple pressures, so he had a good solid day for Wednesday. Remember, guys, they're looking for that Robin, the Batman. And you know who Batman is? It's Hutchinson. They're looking for that Robin. Who's it going to be? Who's going to step up? You know, Pascal's made a little bit of noise. Davenport's still out. He's still rehabbing. You know, Matthew Betts is making a little bit of noise here and there. I might do a video on him, the Canadian guy. You know, you're not hearing too much. You're not hearing too much about Kaminsky. Not really hearing anything about Hutch right now either. Just kind of, you know, these guys right here. But that's okay. And then I guess the throw of the day, I guess there was Hendon Hooker had a deep pass to Tom Kennedy. That was just a beautiful, beautiful ball for a big gain. His arm's electric. Like I said, we never question his arm strength. We're not questioning anything like that. It's a little bit mental up here, I think, for him. You know, it might be a little bit quick for him, but he will get it down. And I fully believe he wins that QB2 spot. So, but that was the throw of the day, and I guess it was a beauty. And that's it, guys. That's how we ended it, man. 17 and change. I really appreciate you guys coming in. Hopefully day 3, I get to you guys a little bit earlier. I couldn't get this news out until about now. This is a little bit of a later video, but hey, I got it out. So I appreciate it, guys. I really appreciate you guys coming in. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification bell up top. Don't forget to like, comment, share this out. Really appreciate it, guys. Detroit versus everybody. One pride. Let's go, baby. Boom. Go Lions.